Now on 4, Michael Elphick stars as Norman, who longs for a life on the radio waves in CQ.
And finally, Alex Stott, the solo world yachtsman, who's heading for the Atlantic in his trimaran, will be breaking radio silence tonight for his first transmission to other radio hams. All over the world, amateur radio enthusiasts will be listening out for the lone sailor. Stott, an experienced radio amateur himself, has stated that once he makes contact with another radio operator, he'll attempt to maintain daily contact throughout his world voyage.
Golf 4, Foxtrot Lima Papa Maritime Mobile. This is Golf 4, Echo Sierra Bravo. Calling you and standing by. G4 FLP Maritime Mobile. This is G4 ESB. Do you copy? Do you copy?
Golf 4 Echo. Come on, sailor boy, give us a shout. This is George 4 with a message for all maritime mobiles. Look like Jasmine Gretch going back into the water.
Golf 4 Foxtrot Lima Papa Maritime Mobile. This is Golf 4 Echo Sierra Bravo. Are you copying?
Oh, well, I'm on the ocean wave, I'm on the rolling sea.
Just shut up and clear the frequency. I'm waiting for an important DX from a Maritime Mobile.
Well, important, see there. An important, what did he say? We are sailing across the water.
Why don't you go back on CB where you belong?
We are sailing, oh, very nice, across the water.
All right, fellas, you've had your fun. Now let's have a bit of hush, eh? Give a man a chance. Wally. Golf 4 Foxtrot Lima Papa Maritime Mobile. Golf 4 Foxtrot Lima Papa Maritime Mobile. This is Golf 4 Echo Sierra Bravo, calling you and standing by. Golf 4 Foxtrot Lima Papa Maritime Mobile. This is G4 ESB calling you and standing by. G4 FLP Maritime Mobile. G4 FLP Maritime Mobile. This is Golf 4 Echo Sierra Bravo. G4 FLP Maritime Mobile. G4 FLP Maritime Mobile.
Golf 4 Foxtrot Lima Papa Maritime Mobile calling CQ Europe and standing by. This is Golf 4 Foxtrot Lima Papa Maritime Mobile calling CQ and standing by. This is Golf 4 Foxtrot Lima Papa Maritime Mobile calling CQ Europe and standing by.
Golf 4 Foxtrot Lima Papa Maritime Mobile. This is Golf 4 Echo Sierra Bravo. Go ahead.
Hello there. Thought for a minute the whole world had gone to sleep on me. The name of this end is Alec, as in Alpha Lima Echo Charlie.
I've got him! I've got him!
Of course, he built the whole thing, you know, from scratch. Never done that sort of thing before. Hasn't done much sea sailing before. But he's that sort of man. He said, without something to challenge you, extend you, you never fully realise your potential.
We're going through all this malarkey again, are we? That fiasco with that space shuttle was bad enough.
Yes, but I got him, didn't I? I got him.
And didn't you let everyone know?
Oh, yes, he's going to depend on me quite a bit from now on. He said as much. The loneliness. That's the biggest problem for the single-handed yachtsman. Worse, apparently, when you lose radio contact. He said he was dreading it. It's reality, you see. You lose touch with it. That's where I come in. He quoted something. He quotes quite a lot, actually. He said, there's nothing to escape from, nothing to escape to. One is always alone.
Question. What, if any, is the point?
Not just now, Terry, if you don't mind.
Just asking.
Some other time.
Fair enough.
Gold Oscar Tango Foxtrot Bologna Macaroni going QRT and signing off.
I thought you were going out.
Skin, aren't I?
Don't touch that. You're transmitting, aren't you?
So?
What that boy needs is a hobby.
Or a job. Norman, about this new aerial. How much?
A lot less than if I'd got the 7-element one.
How much, Norman?
£419.75.
What?
Well, not a sou spent, interest-free credit, no deposit.
Well, what about the other thing?
What other thing?
Well, the thing you bought for your Morse code contest.
My electronic key, well, that's virtually paid for. Or it soon will be.
If it ever ends.
Look, it's here! Alex Stott, the redundant Polytechnic lecturer who was sailing round the world in his trimaran, etc., etc., last night made his first radio contact with another radio ham. Stott stated he was in good health and that his position was approximately 100 miles northwest of Portugal.
Well, is that it?
Well, it's here, isn't it? Look. Made contact with another radio ham.
Don't they say your name?
Well, no. Well, it's early days yet, isn't it?
So, what aerial did you use?
I got myself the TH5D XXX 5-element tri-band, didn't I? I'll tell you, it blasts a signal into the Atlantic, even a submarine could pick it up.
A tri-band? You sneaky so-and-so.
Sounds like the voice of a sore loser to me.
Norman?
I've got to QRT for a while. The XYL wants a word.
That was Jeff from next door.
So?
About his television set. They had a lot of interference last night, he said.
He's always complaining about something.
He asked if you've got planning permission for your new aerial. Well, he works for the council, doesn't he? He knows about these things. Well?
Well, what?
Well, have you got planning permission?
No, of course I haven't, have I? I haven't had time. You know how long all this red tape takes. Anyway, it's not a problem.
Well, it will be if he decides to make it one.
Look, just tell him I won't be transmitting on that frequency again. That's the end of the interference. That's the end of the problem. Okay?
But I thought the whole idea was that you're going to talk to him every day.
Well, I am. We've got a sked set for 3 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time every afternoon.
Well, you'll be in the office in the afternoons, won't you?
But I'll have to take time off, won't I?
What? Every afternoon?
June, if you had any idea about the propagation of radio signals, you would appreciate that atmospherically the conditions are much more advantageous during the day. It's the only time we can maintain contact.
They won't stand for it, Norman.
Yes, they will if I explain it to them, get them into the spirit of the thing.
But it could be weeks, months.
So?
For pity's sake, Norman.
Look, have you got any idea how many people were trying to contact him last night, have you? I mean, thousands. Not just in this country, you know, all over Europe. Thousands of radio signals bouncing off the ionosphere. And mine got him, mine.
All right. So you've done it, you've proved it, now you can let him go.
No.
Norman.
I'm not letting him go.
Look, it doesn't matter to him that it's you that he speaks to, just so long as somebody does.
It matters to me.
And what about the other things that matter?
Well, I'm here, aren't I? I mean, I'm not down the pub every night. How many wives can say that about their husbands?
I'm not talking about that.
Look, I've worked for that firm for 20 years. I mean, that's got to count for something, hasn't it? I mean, I'm going to be a name, important. It'll reflect on them.
Yes, it's a curious thing, this self-estimation business. Seems to me it all rests on how others see you, Norman. And if you want people to rate you, you have to do something to deserve it, don't you? Achieve something they can't. But if the desire for prestige, recognition, emanates from such a base instinct, well, surely it diminishes you. Right?
G4 FLP Maritime Mobile. This is G4 ESB returning. Yes, except the thing itself. The courage, Alec. You mustn't underrate that.
I suppose if I didn't underrate myself, I wouldn't be here at all, would I? That's my point. When I was battling today with that damn self-steering gear, it struck me how absurd the whole thing was. Here I am risking my life. Why? In order to make it worth living. Can you see any sense in that? Maybe real courage is someone like you, Norman, who appreciates what you've got and just gets on with it. It says 6 o'clock, 7 letters. Lazy, cunning, maladroit socially. Could be just about anyone I know. You know the damnedest thing, Norman? I still wake up every morning at the same time, as for work. You see, there is no escape. The truth is, I was never much at family life. Oh, I did all the right things. Took the wife and kids to the park on a Sunday. Seaside holidays. All of that. A
great one for family life is my wife. I used to get this boxed-in feeling, you know? You probably don't. I envy you that. Take the so-called modern man. Well, theoretically, we can achieve anything we want to. We have the technology, the expertise. But for the most part, we don't try. We conform. And if you conform, you're obeying society's rules.
G4 ESB to the group. That's it for today, fellas. More same time tomorrow. Break.
G4 ESB, G4 DAE. Very nice, Norman. Now how about a bit of sharing? I.e., next time you're on air, we stand by and you bring us into the conversation. Get a little network going. What about it?
Well, just call him when we finish talking. Break.
We tried that, but he cuts off so fast we don't get a chance. Which is why we need you to bring us in, Roger?
G4 DAE, G4 ESB. Well, I'll put it to him next time we talk. Break. Yes, hello. Speaking. Who? It's the television people.
I'm not surprised we're over 2 months behind with the rental.
No, ITV. Tonight? No, that's not inconvenient at all. Do you have this address? Yeah? Oh, I'll be ready. Yes. Thank you. They want me to appear on the Barry Gordon show. Talk about Alec, about our conversations. They're sending a car.
Since you don't talk about anything else, that shouldn't be a problem.
Sir Roland Hall's appearing.
Who?
You know, the yachtsman who wrote all them books about solo voyages. He's the other guest. You'll have to look out my suit and my radio club tie. And I'm going to need some brown boot polish.
Solo trips around the world and his best-selling author on in the Atlantic.
And go down there and say,
neighbour on the telly. We've all heard about the sacrifices Alex Stott has made for his voyage, but you've made one or two yourself, as I understand, losing your job as you've been taking time off in the afternoons.
Yes, I'm afraid my employers didn't quite share my enthusiasm for the venture, no.
What exactly was your job, Norman?
Insurance, loss adjuster.
I'd say the loss is theirs, wouldn't you? Now, Norman, tell me, how is Alec doing?
Well, at the moment, he's off North Africa. He's about 150 miles south of the Canaries. And I'm sure, as Sir Roland knows, I mean, they're no picnic, these solo voyages. I mean, if the elements are in your favour, the currents and the cream, yes, you've got more time to think. If they're against you, of course, there's that much more to do on board, and you get tired that much more easily, and you become
melancholic.
Exactly. I mean, we all feel a bit like that.
How about this business of melancholia, Sir Roland? Did you ever suffer from it at all in your solo trips in the 60s?
It was something one had to contend with, certainly. Personally, I regarded it as part of the thing, overcoming it on my own. I kept my radio contact to a minimum.
Ah, so you think that daily radio contact is a kind of cop-out?
It's not for me to say. I'm sure it's very comforting having Mr.
Cadell.
Quite, chatting on every afternoon, but comfort or doing without it, testing one's endurance, for me, that's rather what it was all about.
What about the point of Alex Stott's voyage, though, to draw attention to the jobless?
Well, virtually no more world records to beat, are there? Chichester, Rose, Knox Johnston have more or less seen to that.
And yourself, of course.
In my own modest way. Oh, now we have to nail some kind of cause to our masts if we want to get noticed. It's certainly a worthy enough one.
Yes, do you think that's what it's all about, in fact, getting noticed?
It's part of it. Except in my day, I think we earned it rather more.
Oh, in what way?
Well, the whole currency of these endeavours has been debased, hasn't it? I mean, how often do we open our newspapers and read of some crackpot wanting to sail the Atlantic in a jam jar or a barrel? And the point is, we were there first. We were out to go, if you like, where no man had been before, to be the first, or failing that, the fastest. Mr. Stott can hardly qualify for the former, and judging by his speed to date, there's not much chance of achieving the latter.
Would you say that was fair comment, Norman?
Well, no, actually.
Hello.
So what are his motives?
Well, he's just making a gesture.
About what?
Freedom?
Freedom. Heady stuff. But freedom from what, Norman?
Boredom, every day being the same, routine. I mean, well, Knox Johnson said it himself, didn't he? He said, I'm sailing around the world because I bloody well want to.
It's hardly the same thing.
Why? I mean, all right, Alex Stott's not making a voyage of discovery, but, I mean, perhaps what he's trying to do out there is discover himself, and if he wants to talk to somebody, so what? I mean, why must it always come down to breaking records, of winning? I mean, we can't all win.
Norman Caddo. Da-da-da-da-da-da! Up you're the top, you're the Cardassian, you're the top, you're a real man. Not just 'cause you're a real man, but why? 'Cause you're a radio ham. You're the top, the boys don't say so. You're a pal, they say to say so. You're a hunk, you're a chunk of first-class mail. You're the best of bunch, and that's no hunch. 'Cause the guy said to say, thank you, Norman, for making their day. From all of Venice and the South Cosworth and this Street Radio Club. Your souvenir kiss, O'Brien. Excuse me for asking. What did you do?
Well, nothing.
He pushes a strong signal.
He appeared on television.
Yeah. I always wanted to do that. Appear on television. I didn't mind my asking.
I'll put the kettle on.
So when you made your first radio contact, Norman, how did it feel?
Well, it's difficult to put into words.
Try.
You see, amateur radio, ham radio, it's like, say, fly fishing. The challenge is, it's like fishing in a big pond, except in our case, the pond isn't water, it's ether, it's the world. You send out a tiny little signal and you can land a common fish with it or a rare one. I got lucky, and if you do land yourself a rare fish, well, it makes you feel important, like you've achieved something.
So this alphabet soup you all use, the Q code, is it? Like the expression CQ, what does that mean?
Well, it's just something you say when you want to put out a general call.
Mm.
Well, some people say it comes from seek you, but nobody knows for sure.
Is that how you got Alec?
Oh, no, he got me. He put out a seek you, and I answered.
So in essence, he sought you out?
Yes, I think he was after contact. Hello, love. Tea in my shack, I'm running late.
Well, the phone hasn't stopped ringing. 4 job offers. There's a reporter coming to see you.
Well, he'll just have to wait, won't he? I can't keep Alec waiting, can I? Otherwise the other beggars will get him, won't they? G4 FLP Maritime Mobile, this is G4 ESB calling you and standing by. Golf 4 Foxtrot Lima Papa Maritime Mobile, this is Golf 4 Echo Sierra Bravo calling you.
G4 ESB, G4 CAE. When you get indoors, don't forget your promise, old son. We're all waiting.
G4 ESB returning. All right, just clear the frequency, will you? Golf 4
Foxtrot Lima Papa, this is G4 ESB calling you and standing by.
He's not responding.
Well, perhaps he's asleep.
No, he never sleeps, not this time of day.
Well, perhaps he's just lost track of the time.
G4 FLP Maritime Mobile, this is Golf 4 Echo Sierra Bravo calling you. Please acknowledge. G4 FLP Maritime Mobile, this is G4 ESB. Do you copy? Do you copy? Calling Golf 4, Foxtrot Lima Papa, Maritime Mobile. Are you there? Golf 4, Foxtrot Lima Papa, Maritime Mobile. This is Golf 4 Echo Sierra Bravo calling. Are you there, Alec? Alec!
To monitor the frequency, haven't I, in case he comes on?
It's been 10 days, Norman.
He's probably just putting in some sailing time.
Or sunk.
If he was in trouble, he would have put out a distress call, wouldn't he? He's probably going round the Cape of Good Hope, battling against the southeast trades. I mean, the man's only got one pair of hands, isn't he?
G4 FLP Maritime Mobile calling. G4 FLP Maritime Mobile calling. This is G4 ESB calling for you and standing by.
Well, maybe it's broken, you know, his radio.
If it was broken, he'd repair it. That's precisely why he took spares with him.
Well, perhaps he hasn't got the know-how.
If he didn't have the know-how, he wouldn't have taken the spares, would he?
Well, perhaps he...
What?
Perhaps he just got bored talking to the same person every day.
Well, if he did, he would have worked somebody else, wouldn't he? And we would have known about it, and he hasn't. I mean, a lot of these yachtsmen break radio contact. It's not that uncommon.
Look at, what's his name, Crowhurst. That geezer who cheated in the round-the-world race and then topped himself because he couldn't stand the aggro.
What he couldn't stand was the prospect of failure.
Yeah, but he got it wrong, didn't he? Jumping overboard like that. Look at Tom Keating, McVickers. TV programmes about them, films. Crowhurst didn't realise he was onto a good thing. He'd have been a celebrity now.
Well, perhaps that's not what he wanted.
Do me a favour. That's what everyone wants. Don't they?
Someone in Poland.
Norman, about those job offers. They won't keep them open forever, you know.
When I resumed radio contact, I'll chase them up.
Well, you could at least go for the interviews in the mornings.
I'm not leaving this house until I've made contact.
Well, you could get one of your radio friends to listen in for you.
If they got him, they'd keep him, wouldn't they?
Well, you don't own him, Norman. Listen, life's got to go on. Our life. Say to yourself, it was nice while it lasted.
Yeah, but it didn't last, did it? Any of it.
you were working last night. I could hear your overs, but not his. G0QPR, G0STO. It was the DX to Israel. You mean you couldn't hear them at all? Not a dicky bird.
Do we have to listen to this drivel?
Depends on your receiver, doesn't it? And your aerial system. I could hear him fine. Unless I'm hearing things.
G4 FLP, Maritime Mobile. This is G4 ESB calling you and standing by. G4 FLP, Maritime Mobile. This is G4 ESB returning. Good to hear you, Alec. Some of us were getting a bit worried. I told them not to worry. We all need to be alone from time to time. Recharge the old brain cells. Right, well, I'll keep this one short, Alec. Your signal's a bit faint. Resume contact tomorrow, usual time, usual frequency. Standing by and waiting for your finals. Over.
Well, they say no news is good news, which certainly seems to be the case with Alex Stott. We got word today from Norman Cadell, his radio hand contact, that last night Stott broke his radio silence. Well done, fellas. And now for some music.
His radio silence, well, I think he was just trying to show that he wasn't afraid of the solitude. My pleasure. Local paper.
Well, shouldn't you be on? It's gone 3.
Yes.
I'll bring you a cup of tea.
No, I'll have one later. You talked about self-respect, Alec, once, remember? I've read something on that. Here. True self-estimation must be based on the deserved respect from others. The word deserved being of the greatest importance. But who's to say who deserves respect? Then, of course, he has the notorious Cape Horn to contend with. He'll need all his wits about him for that, I can tell you.
Thank you, Norman, for keeping us abreast of Alec's progress in the Lest We Forget. With Norman popping in to give us bulletins, there's not much chance of that. And now for Brenda in Streatham, celebrating her 10th wedding anniversary. Lots of love going out to you from your husband, Terry.
Sorry to hear about the old generator problem, Alec. Particularly with the kind of heavy weather you're facing. I've got your position down. It's 22 degrees south and 33 degrees west. I think that just about covers it for the day. I'll sign off now and stand by for your finals. Hope that the next 24 hours are kind to you. Break.
G4 DAE. Norman, you still there?
G4 ESB returning.
G4 DAE. Look, I just don't get this. I'm not picking you up at all anymore. Only you. Over. Norman?
G4 FLP Maritime Mobile. Calling G4 FLP Maritime Mobile. This is G4 ESB calling you and standing by.
G4 ESB, G4 FLP, Maritime Mobile, returning your call. Over. G4 ESB, this is G4 FLP, Maritime Mobile, go ahead. Come on, Norman, don't play games.
G4 ESB returning. Hello, Alec.
4 FLP, Maritime Mobile, returning. Very enlightening few weeks we've had, haven't we? G4 ESB, G4 FLP, still with me, Norman?
I'm with you.
I think it's time we had a proper talk, don't you? I know you're listening, Norman, and others. Now I want you to pick up a pencil, Norman, or better still, switch that tape of yours on. Okay? Just a little crossword. First clue. The cat has 9 lives, so there are 9 letters of importance to both of us. Got that?
Affirmative.
Good man. Now, for each letter, in turn, write down the following numbers and work out their correlation. +1, -4, +4, +1. -10, -12, -9, -11, -11. Got that?
Got it.
That ends your first clue. I'll give you the second when we talk tomorrow. Oh, and Norman, let's keep this one strictly QT, okay? From Ch4 FLP Maritime Mobile. 9 letters are important to both of us. Got that?
Work out their correlation. Ready.
Here goes. -2, -1, -4, -2, -5, -6, +2, -1, -3. Now, when you've sussed that little lot out, Norman, I'll meet you on that frequency at 9 GMT tonight. You call me. Okay? Ch4 FLP Maritime Mobile going QRT.
There's no frequency of that number.
Norman?
Yes. Alec. Where are you? What's going on?
Got rudder problems, pal, so I came home. While you got me round the Cape of Good Hope, I've been pelting hell for leather back to Plymouth. At least that was the idea. Then I caught your transmissions. That stuff you were saying, Norman, about deserving respect, it was true. People don't always get what they deserve, do they? I've got it all worked out, Norman. No one knows I'm here. No one. This is the plan. I dodge around in the Atlantic, avoiding the shipping lanes, keeping low. You carry on transmitting my progress around the world. And when my signal
is comparable with my position, I come back on air. You talk me to Plymouth. That way I get to be a hero and you get to be the man that made it all possible. What about it?
Have you got any idea what's involved in that?
Yes. It means my being incarcerated in that cabin for weeks and a lot of sweat and ingenuity on your part.
In my book, that makes us pretty deserving. Look, we can do it. Say something, I haven't said it. Okay. I'll switch on my radio tomorrow. If you transmit, I'll know it's a go. If not, then we both put egg on our faces.
It's one thing going after a big fish, Norman. It's another hauling it in.
G4 FLP Maritime Mobile. G4 ESB returning. Good to hear you again, Alec. I'm glad you got that pump back in working order. Your signal's a bit weak, just about audible. Over.
Cadell, we meet again. You've been keeping a duplicate log, I understand. Yes. Of his progress. Yes, of sorts.
Could I see it?
Well,
One or two things are puzzling me. It might help to clarify them.
Oh?
His course has been a little erratic, to say the least.
He's not had your experience, has he?
Quite. Which makes it all the more puzzling, since some of his speeds would put even Sir Francis Chichester to shame. And then there's this radio business. He's never answered a call from any of the coastal radio stations, never once.
Well, perhaps he's out of range.
Not according to some of the positions he's been giving. And he's not been sighted either. Not since you broke radio contact with him that time. Which rather adds to the puzzle.
Well, I'm afraid I can't show you the logs. I mean, he's saving them, one of the dailies.
I see. Not just a glimpse for an old man's peace of mind?
No, sorry.
Very well. Thank you for my tea.
Let me just show you out this room.
He might be making a fool of you, Mr. Cadell. Has that thought not occurred to you?
It's him who's frightened of looking a fool. If your guy's stop makes it, proves anyone can do it, right?
Do you know, I think that boy's beginning to grow up. Okay, Alec, nice one. I hope you don't get caught up in the old mizzen sheeting. I think that about wraps our sked for today, so 7-3 from me and I'll stand by for your finals. Over.
G4ESP, G4DAE. Oi, Norman, what's going on?
What do you mean?
Look, I've got myself kitted out with an identical aerial to yours, right? I'm only 3 miles away, and damn it, I'm even higher than you, and I'm still not getting him. So I repeat, what's going on?
G4ESB returning. Well, perhaps you've got a fault on your aerial.
Well, I'll pick everyone else up with it, okay? I suppose I can get someone up to check it. It's just dead. Whenever he comes on lately, there's not a trace of a signal.
Lenny, you still working for that aerial outfit?
Yes, all right. Bye. That was your radio friend, Dennis, on the phone.
Oh?
He's in a terrible state. Seen some lads called round yesterday. They heard he wanted his aerial checking. They brought the whole lot down. All of them. And then they just took off in a van. Said it'd be weeks before he can go back on the air again.
Some Wally outfit. Probably.
Literally hundreds of them turned out this afternoon to greet him. There's a regular flotilla of seacraft to greet him. How many of them remember saying that Alex Stott wouldn't get out of the Atlantic? Well, he did, and he's back to tell the tale. Yes, there's no doubt about it. Alex Stott has brought a lot of excitement into a lot of people's lives.
Here we are in our studio, the scene of this historic meeting. And a face who needs no introduction, Norman Cadell, the radio ham who made Alex Stott's heroic venture possible. Well, Norman, in a few moments, Alec himself will be walking through that door, and you'll finally be able to put a face to the voice you know so well. Quite a moment, isn't it? And here he is, Alex Stott himself. Good to have you ashore, Alec. Here's someone I'd like you to meet. The man better known to you as G4 ESB, Norman Cadell.
Alec? Norman? We are sailing across the water, across the sea. Do, 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 do.